Welcome back to my views and news. Some new stories for you. First one is from the Amhara region of Ethiopia, where intense clashes are being reported between Fano fighters and Ethiopian military. Unknown number of people, unknown number of fighters and soldiers have been injured reportedly. This area where fighting is ongoing close to another area where a few days ago some Ethiopian soldiers were taken prisoner. They were captured by Fano fighters. Which Fano faction is operating in this part of the Amhara region? Secondly, there was another attack on Ethiopian troops in Somalia a few days ago. Ethiopian military base on Ethiopia's Somalia border was attacked by Al Shabaab fighters. Second attack on Ethiopian troops, which happened yesterday in Somalia. How many were injured and killed in this attack? Thirdly, Ethiopian Airlines has issued a statement about some reports which are being shared that Ethiopian Airlines cargo will be handled by a Chinese company. That PM Abiy has approved this decision to get dollars from China. Ethiopian Airlines issued a statement, and several sources are now speaking about what I reported when Girmawake was removed from Ethiopian Airline Management Board and Yilma Mirdasa was appointed as the board chairman. What was the reason? Reason now is being explained by several news outlets. Fourthly, viewers, Eritrea, three statements in the last 48 hours about the presence of Eritrean military on Tigray territories. What does it mean if Western and US, Western countries and US are saying that still there is presence of Eritrean military on Tigray territory? Last year, Sudan ceasefire is being considered in respect of a coming religious holiday, Eidul Adha. Secondly, any progress made about a meeting between Hamati and Al Burhan, which was expected to happen in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Thirdly, Rapid Support Forces claim to have captured two colonels. But one of the two colonels is an engineer working at an oil company, and fighting again being reported between SPLM, Al Hilo Group, and Sudanese military in South Kordofan. Firstly, viewers, Fano fighters and Ethiopian soldiers are involved in deadly clashes in a mountainous area in the Amhara region of Ethiopia. In different parts of the Amhara region, Ethiopian Army is trying to contain, to disband Fano factions. Fano factions are getting stronger. We are seeing that more fighters are joining Fano factions. Amhara Special Force former soldiers have joined Fano fighters too. Locals are supporting them as well. That is why guerrilla war is ongoing. If war the right word, guerrilla style clashes are ongoing between Fano fighters and Ethiopian military in different parts of the Amhara region. A few days ago, if you remember, Fano fighters shared pictures and videos from Ambasal. I think Ambasal is in South Wollo. That in Ambasal, Fano fighters had taken prisoner several members of Ethiopian National Defense Force and some government-backed militia members. Now, a story from a nearby Wareda. Delanta. Delanta is also in South Wollo, to the west of Wuldia, west of Marsa is situated Delanta, and in and near Delanta, heavy clashes erupted between Fano fighters and Ethiopian military. Both Ambasal and Delanta are two Waredas where Fano fighters are based. Which Fano factions are based here? Most probably East Amhara Fano, which was based in and near Kobo. I think it has moved towards Ambasal and Delanta. It could receive support from Gondar Fano as well. Gondar is not far away. South Gondar is not far away from this area. So Gondar Fano fighters could be here too. Gondar Fano fighters and East Amhara Fano fighters both could be here in this area. Mountainous area, forests too, and it is ideal for this type of resistance movement which has been launched by Fano fighters against Ethiopian military in the Amhara region. Several sources reporting about these clashes in Delanta, where clashes erupted in Sitbila. Sitbila is close to Delanta reportedly, and both sides have been positioned here for days. And then clashes erupted, and now unknown number of people injured. Unknown number of soldiers, fighters injured on both sides, though no statement from Ethiopian military or foreign fighters. But locals in the area at a distance, they say that all day long gunfire sounds were heard. So clashes went on for several hours. Injured are being shifted to nearby hospitals, especially members of Ethiopian National Defense Force. ENDF never acknowledges its losses in the fight against Fano fighters. I have not seen a single statement by Ethiopian National Defense Force confirming that its soldiers had been killed or its arms had been captured by Fano fighters. But on the ground, yes, Ethiopian military soldiers in some cases have been killed, they have been ambushed, they have been taken prisoner by Fano fighters. Some weapons have been seized by Fano fighters as well. But no confirmation from Ethiopian military side. And reportedly, the Fano fighters are receiving now support, reinforcement from Ambasal. From Ambasal, Fano reinforcements are on their way towards Delanta. They're trying to support the Fano factions fighting Ethiopian military in and near Delanta. And Dasi to Delanta road could be closed. These Fano fighters are trying to close this road. They have not closed it, but reportedly, they are now in a position, by the way, to close roads. It means they're not just a few dozen Fano fighters. There are hundreds, if not thousands. That is why they are now making strategic decisions like which road to close, from which area reinforcements to receive, which area should be used as a camp. So they're making decisions like small armed group consisting of thousands of fighters, it seems, and all are separate. All are independent. East Amhara Fano, Gondar Fano, Shoa Fano, Gujjam Fano. All separately consist of thousands of fighters. They're making decisions independently, separately, trying to ensure their survival, and all are posing challenges to Ethiopian military, it seems. Thirdly, viewers, another attack on Ethiopian military in Somalia. Second attack on Ethiopian military in Somalia in almost 2 weeks. First attack was carried out on Ethiopia-Somalia border in Dolo town of I think Gado region. A few days ago, Ethiopian military base was attacked there. Two suicide vehicles stormed the base. One exploded at the entrance, one at a distance from the entrance. Some Ethiopian soldiers were killed in that attack, but Ethiopian military claimed that it had repelled the attack, that the vehicles with explosives could not enter the base. But the vehicles managed to reach the entrance of the base. It means that the attack was partially, it achieved its target partially. It managed to reach the entrance, and the vehicle exploded at the entrance. Al-Shabaab claimed the responsibility for that attack. Now another attack on Ethiopian military at a base which is in Bardar. Bardar is in Somalia, southern part of Somalia. Here, a base of military having both Ethiopian and Somalia soldiers was attacked by Al-Shabaab fighters. 2 explosions were heard. Unknown number of soldiers killed. No details shared by Ethiopian military, Somalia's military. Al-Shabaab has issued a statement confirming the attack on this military base in southern Somalia. Interestingly, just a few days ago, African Union announced to reduce its deployment of troops to Somalia. African Union is reducing its deployments. Al-Shabaab is as powerful as it was, though though Somalia's military has launched several operations against Al-Shabaab, but we cannot say that Al-Shabaab has suffered major setbacks. Yes, some territories have been retaken by Somalia's military. Combined operations have been conducted by Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, Djibouti, and US is involved here conducting airstrikes. Despite all these operations, Al-Shabaab is still a force to reckon with in Somalia. Uganda was heard saying 2 days ago that it might have to buy drones in to deploy them in Somalia because Al-Shabaab fighters are carrying out attacks on African Union troops too. In an attack on AU troops, several AU troops from Uganda were killed. So that is why strategy adopted by Somalia's government to eliminate Al-Shabaab has not worked completely. It has produced some results, but problem is that Somalia does not have an integrated army. It is relying on military support from neighboring countries, from US. There are several tribes there, regional governments, regional forces. How to integrate all these security institutions into one fighting force? That is the main challenge, I think, for Somalia. Al-Shabaab is very united. Central command, one central authority. So that is how they are still a challenge to Somalia's and regional security institutions in Somalia. Second attack on Ethiopian troops. It means that Ethiopia's troops based in Somalia are being hit by Al-Shabaab fighters. Al-Shabaab fighters entered Somali region of Ethiopia last year, if you remember. They tried to establish some bases in the Somali region of Ethiopia. It was fighting, a week-long fighting in Ethiopian territory, but gradually Ethiopian forces, Somali special force, pushed Al-Shabaab out of Somali region. After that, attack started on Ethiopian soldiers based in Somalia. Fourthly, was three statements about the presence of Eritrean military in Tigray. Three separate statements, one from the US, second one from the UK, third one from the EU. All are calling upon Eritrea to withdraw its forces from Tigray. EU went a step further. EU said the presence of Eritrean military on Tigray territories could undermine the successful implementation of Pretoria deal. EU High Commissioner submitted annual human rights report 2 days ago, and that report mentions the presence of Eritrean troops on Tigray territories. The report states that human rights record in Eritrea is poor, no signs of improvement, and Eritrean military is still based in Tigray. This deployment could undermine the implementation of Pretoria deal. Now, it's a very interesting point, viewers, that TPLF's allies, Western countries, US, they believe that Tigray's territories are still under Eritrean control. Eritrea largely silent. Eritrea has been resisting the entry of some aid organizations into the areas where its troops are deployed. Areas were part of Tigray before the start of November 2024. I have been saying that Eritrea has unilaterally enforced boundary commission decision, a 2-decade-old boundary commission decision, which was rejected by Ethiopia, but Badme was given to Eritrea and some other past. Eritrea has not only enforced the decision unilaterally, but some other areas of Tigray are under Eritrean control too, it seems. Entire Zalambasa is under Eritrean control. In Zalambasa, Eritrea is building a road linking Zalambasa with Eritrea, and some schools, hospitals have been demolished, houses in Zalambasa. Was entire Zalambasa given to Eritrea by the boundary commission? No, I don't think so. So that is why Not only the areas, the zones granted to Eritrea by the Boundary Commission are under the control of Eritrean forces, some other areas too. That is why EU, US, Tigray authorities all are of this view that Tigray's territories are still being occupied by Eritrean military. Question is, where is Ethiopian government, Ethiopian National Defense Force? It's not Tigray's territory. It is Tigray's territory, but basically it's Ethiopian territory. Ethiopian territories are being occupied by Eritrean military. So where is Ethiopia? What is Ethiopian government's position? This is the most important point. What is Ethiopian government's position? Does it believe that Ethiopian territories are under the control of Eritrean military? I have not seen a single statement. Rather, a few days ago, Yelbacha Dable, former general, now serving as Ethiopian ambassador to Kenya, was heard saying that ENDF was in control of all Ethiopian borders with Eritrea, Sudan, etc. So indirectly he denied that Ethiopian territories were under the control of Eritrean forces. So what is needed is a statement, a clarity from Ethiopian government. Are any Ethiopian territories under Eritrean control? What is Ethiopian government's position? Now, on your story about Ethiopian Airlines, for the last 3 days, it is being rumored that Ethiopian Airlines cargo will be handled by a Chinese company. Why? Because government is in need of dollars. That is why federal government has struck a deal with a Chinese company. I did not report the rumors because there was no official confirmation. And Ethiopian Airlines last night issued a statement saying that all were rumors. Ethiopian Airlines cargo will not be handled by a Chinese company. Rumors were being spread. By the way, viewers, we must be careful because now several accounts, news outlets are spreading propaganda. Different ethnic groups are part of it. They have their separate grievances against the federal government. PM Abiy is the center of this campaign. His government is being criticized. Some false reporting is being shared. So we must be careful before reporting, before believing anything about the government. I criticize the government as well, but we must stick to the facts. And secondly, now what I reported when Yilmaz Mirdasa was appointed as Ethiopian Airlines Management Board Chairman is being confirmed by several sources. I reported that Yilmaz was appointed. He replaced Girma Wake because there was a dispute over the removal of Mesfantasio, CEO of Ethiopian Airlines. He was about to be removed. Girma Wake was told to back the removal of Mesfantasio. He refused and then he was removed, and Yilmaz Mirdasa was appointed as Ethiopian Airlines Management Board Chairman. So it is now being reported by several other news outlets too. This is the reason behind removal of Girma Wake and appointment of Yilmaz Mirdasa as the head of Ethiopian Airlines Management Board. That is the only reason which has been reported. The airline, the government, they have not said anything so far. What is the reason? Why was Girma Wake fired? Why was Yilmaz Mirdasa appointed? Nothing said by the government. Most sources are confirming what I reported, that it was the dispute was over the likely removal of Mesfantasio. Mesfantasio, the CEO, is still there working as the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines. Lastly, we are Sudan, where talks underway for a new ceasefire. Ceasefires are being announced in Sudan, one after the other, but very few are being implemented practically. Both sides are making a mockery of ceasefires. Eid al-Adha approaching after almost 5 to 6 days. There will be Eid al-Adha, religious festival in entire Muslim world. Before that, talks underway for the announcement of a ceasefire. Let's see if ceasefire is announced and if it is implemented or not. No progress on the suggestion from IGAD about a meeting between Hamati and Al-Burhan. Meeting was proposed that it should be held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. PM Abiy was trying to be a go-between between Houthi and al-Burhan, but no progress has been made. IGAD's initiative has been rejected by Sudanese military. So no progress on IGAD's initiative so far. And Sudanese military rejected Kenyan role as the president of the committee in the resolution of the conflict. Secondly, fighting continues between SPLM, Al-Hilo group, and Sudanese military. Sudanese military's camp was taken by SPLM, Sudan People Liberation Movement, Al-Hilo group in South Kordofan yesterday. Al-Atmar is the name of this camp near Kadugli. It was situated after heavy clashes in South Kordofan. SPLM Al-Hilo group fighters took control of this camp. So Sudanese military is being pushed from some areas of South Kordofan. While on one side Sudan military is fighting RSF, on the other hand it is fighting SPLM in South Kordofan. And thirdly, viewers, Rapid Support Forces last night claimed to have captured 2 colonels of Sudan military. One of the 2 colonels is actually an engineer. I think he was working with an oil company, but he was arrested and shown as a colonel. His name is Abdul Aziz. He studied engineering, then he was working at oil energy company. When he was shown in a video last night, his colleagues shared posts, messages saying that he was an engineer working at a company. He wasn't a colonel. Rapid Support Forces are silent, but it seemed that RSF tried to show him as a colonel. He seems to be a civilian and engineer. I have a clip of this so-called colonel for you, Colonel Abdul Aziz, who is actually an engineer. The video was published by Rapid Support Forces yesterday. He was based in Omdurman, from where I think he was arrested, and now he's being shown as a colonel of Sudanese army. With the clip, take watch.
اسمع جيت هاجم مش ولد عمي عمك مرقه شنو؟ كمان عبيدركم برضه ما عندي علاقه انتم اللي قد تنزلوا معك عبيدركم انا وعبد العمي حمد الامين عبيدركم